Hi everyone, it's Ashley. Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. So guys, I quickly wanted to come in. I needed to make an envelope for a card that I recently made. I couldn't find the envelope that went with the card itself. And although I have some different envelopes, I was like, well, I just wanted to go the extra mile. I had a little bit of time and I haven't brought out my We Are Memories Keeper punch board. So I figured I would sit down and make an envelope really quickly for this card. And I figured since I was going to do that, I might as well bring you guys along. So I got this, and I'll be honest with you, I have only made envelopes with it yet. But it does make envelopes, it makes bows, and then it makes paper boxes. So as I said, this is from We Are Memory Keepers. So the first thing I'm going to do is just opening this up. Right on the side here, I will try to show you. It will have here your instructions and sizes for envelopes, and then bows, and then box. So since we're going to do an envelope today, I'm just going to look here on the left side. The first step in our process is going to be select our card size. So the card that I'm creating for is a standard A2 size card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So on our little chart here, I will show you once again. Hopefully it will focus. On our little chart here, it says A2. We're going to want our size, our paper sized at 8 1/4. And then it has another measurement right here next to it. And that measurement says punch guide is 3 5/8. And we'll get back to that number, but for right now, we're going to focus on trimming our paper down to 8 1/4. So I just have my Cricut paper trimmer here, and I'm going to measure this out to 8 1/4. And before I cut that, thankfully I kind of caught it there. I obviously want to, I use this paper for something else, and it has a little house cut out of it there. So I want to not use that part for our envelope. So just turning it either way, I'm going to trim it to 8 1/4 in both directions. Perfect. So now we just have a sheet of paper that started at 12 by 12 and now measures 8 by 1/4 all the way around. And I like to use for my envelopes a double-sided paper, just so you have one on the outside, which I want this on the outside, and then you have a pattern on the inside. So bringing back in our punch board, so I'm going to go to, let's see, our second step was trim paper to the size, so that's done. Now it says step 3 is align left edge to punch guide measurement. So just going back to our A2 size card, it says our punch guide measurement is 3 5/8. So just looking at the top of my punch board here, I'm going to go over to 3 5/8, which is right here. And it says align our left corner with that measurement. So we are right on the money. I forgot, I'm going to grab my scoring tool here. It just slides right into the bottom there. I forgot to grab that. So let's move on to step 4. It says punch and score envelope score line A. Opening up our punch board here, we can see here on the side, it has a envelope score line B on top, and then an envelope score line A just underneath that. It says to punch and then score that A score line. So just there, I'm just going to push in right here that punches, and then just using this little notch that they have, you're just going to run it right down the score line A. Now it says rotate paper 90 degrees. So we're just gonna go to our next line here. Our next instruction says align score mark with envelope score groove. So right here it says envelope score groove. So now we're no longer going to use our measurement here. Now we're simply going to take that score line that we just made. We're going to line that up with our envelope score groove here, and that will line up exactly with this notch here. And then we're just going to do the same thing. So then we're going to punch again, and then we're going to score on score line A. We're going to turn this 90 degrees. We are going to line up our score mark that we just made. We're going to line this up on the right here with our score groove. We're going to punch. We're going to score line A. We're going to turn 90 degrees, line up that score mark with what we just made on our score line. Punch, score line A. So now we have done that to all 4 of our corners. And let's close this up. And then it says we would just throw away, these are our little punch, these are from our little punch. Then I will just begin to start folding my envelope in right on those score lines that we made. And then you'll kind of see your envelope start to come to life here. And I like to kind of see which one's going to be my top flap. And then as you saw, I just take it like this. I'll put it right into this corner here, getting it right up against this guide. Punch it, and it will just give me a nice rounded corner. So that came out perfectly. So I'm just going to quickly bring in just a little bit of art glitter glue. And I got a little snag here on my card, but that's going to go on the inside, so I am not worried about it. Let's bring in my scoring tool, and I'm just going to go ahead and score these lines just so I can get a really, really nice, crisp, flat envelope, which I think makes all the difference. So then just kind of seeing where my panels are going to meet. That fine tip is not wanting to work for me at all, so I'm just going to come in without it and just try to be light-handed here. So I'll just put it on my 2 edges there and then bring this up. And then I just like to just gently kind of push it down. I don't want to have glue seeping out everywhere. I don't want to glue the inside of my envelope closed. But I just go nice and soft. And then I just like to kind of open it up, make sure that I did not accidentally glue my inside closed. Okay, and that looks pretty good. So again, we'll just give that just a second. This is how our little envelope ended up. So I just think this is so cute. You have a nice personalized envelope, and I like to match them specifically. Like if I'm doing a card, I will try to match the envelope with the card if I have paper for it. I'm gonna go ahead and make one more envelope while I have this out. So again, for an A2 size card, we're just gonna trim our paper at 8 1/4. By 8 1/4. Now we have our cute little square that is 8 1/4 by 8 1/4. I will just open up my punch board here. I'm going to open up my arm. And then I know my measurement starting off is going to be, we're going to measure to 3 5/8. So just getting that there. I will go ahead and punch. And then I'm going to score on score line A. And then from there, I'm going to rotate 90 degrees, no longer looking at my numbers. I'm simply going to line up this score mark we just made with our score envelope guide, right? So now lining that up here, I'm going to go again, punch, score on A, turn 90 degrees, line up our score mark with our line here on the left, punch, score on A, last one, lining up our score mark, punch, score on A, make sure, there we go, I got a nice score on that. And then again, I just like to kind of start working mine, bringing it in just so I can see which flap is which. Okay, so just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I think round all of my corners this time just to show you guys. So just bringing it into the top here, right along that guide and punching. It will round all of our corners for us, give us a nice finished look. And then just throwing out our little scraps. I will just bring in my scoring tool, and I will just really push down those seams just to get a nice flat envelope. Just like that. And then seeing how my envelope will close, I will apply just some light glue right on the edge here on both of my flaps. Being careful not to get too much. You don't want to glue your envelope closed. Bringing that up and just kind of gently, not pushing too hard. Again, you don't want to cause that glue to kind of seep out everywhere, but just giving it some light pressure, giving it just a moment to kind of set up. But I do like to just kind of open it just a little and peek in, make sure nothing's sticking, and it looks pretty good. So, and there we go. So guys, this was a super quick video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I really enjoy having this. Like I said, if I have the time and the motivation, I love to make an envelope that matches whatever card I'm making. So these are the two sweet little envelopes that we made tonight. Both of them custom. I used double-sided paper for both of them. So when you open them, you get a nice, cute pop of pattern right on the inside, which I love. But just know that if you don't use a double-sided paper, it's fine. You can either have the white side out and then have a pop of pattern on the inside, which is totally cute. And if you're like putting it through the mail, might be a good idea, right? Or you could have the pattern on the outside and then just have white inside, which is also just fine. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you'd like to see the paper bow and paper gift box that it can make, just let me know. I would love to show you guys that. Thank you so much for watching this video tonight. I hope that you learned something new, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.